Whoever said that Thailand was super fucking cheap was a dirty, dirty liar. Sawadee tukun, je m'appelle Axel and I'm a French woman living in Bangkok, Thailand. Today I'm wearing my glasses even though it has the reflection from my ring light, and I'm wearing my smart shirt because today I'm an accountant and not the sexy type. Get your mind out of the gutter. But today we're gonna see exactly what I spent in a month of living in Bangkok, Thailand. So I have been wanting to do this video basically since I arrived, but you know, I've been traveling a lot and I wanted to choose kind of a chill month. I made a Google sheet and typed in every day all of my expenses in it. So just let's go. So here you go. As you can see, I have here Google Sheets of every expense I've paid. I've spent money 76 times this month. I don't know if it's a lot or not. I guess we shall see. So there are days where I haven't spent any money, and those were the days where I stayed at home, already had groceries, so didn't order any food and just didn't spend any money whatsoever. So let's start with the first category I want to talk about, the utilities. So the utilities, I have only 3 of them that I paid every month. The first one, of course, is rent. So in rent, my rent is 8,000 baht a month, which is about a little bit over 200 euros. But sadly, I'm being scammed off of a lot of electricity money. My electricity bill is between 2,000 and 3,000 baht per month, which is not normal. All of my friends are just flabbergasted when I tell them that because it amounts to almost 80 euros. I'm very mad about that, but sadly I'm kind of stuck in my contract with my apartment, so there's nothing much I can do. I've tried to ask them why it's so high. They're just like, oh, it's so high, you use a lot of AC, but I just know it to not be true because all of my other friends pay under 1,000 baht a month. So yeah, it sucks. But this month was actually my lowest month in terms of electricity fee because it was only 2,050 baht. So in total, I paid in rent this month 10,050 baht. So that's a lot, but obviously I would pay probably 4 times that price if I lived in France. So you know what, I'm not complaining too much. And for me, rent is really where I win the most money compared to Paris, because as we're gonna see, other things in Thailand are not as cheap as you would think. Then the other utility is of course my phone bill. So I have a phone plan of 300 baht, which is about 10 euros, and it's no call. So if I want to call, I have to pay 30 baht. So it's much more economical because I never call. I don't like calling people. It's just a non-concept for me to call people. And if I really need to call people, usually it's to talk about like serious things that require some Thai. So I'm very lucky to be able to ask my Thai friends to call for me. For example, I was waiting for my dear Avjampon cover of Bazaar magazine, but it was kind of delayed, and so I asked my friend to call them and they finally delivered it. So 300 baht for me is cheaper than what I pay back in France. I pay I think 15 euros in France for like 80 gigabytes of internet, like unlimited calls and texts. And then the third utility bill that I pay is for the internet in my home. And so it's pretty expensive, it's 480 baht. So honestly, I didn't really need this internet, but I'm really glad I got it because as I said, when I got my SIM card from AIS, it was like perfect internet. So frankly, I didn't even need to buy internet. I could just share my connection to my computer. But honestly, I literally just paid internet for peace of mind and easier access. And also, again, I'm really glad I did that because now the AIS connection is just not as good as it used to be. Next, I want to talk about transport. So for me, transport is something that is very, very expensive in Thailand actually. Something that I didn't expect to be this expensive. I think if you come as a tourist, you might think, oh my god, it's pretty cheap, like it's great, we can take a taxi for not that much, and that is true. But in the long run, especially someone coming from Paris, which is a very small city with lots of metro lines and metro stations, so it's very, very practical. And also when you're in Paris, if you're a student, you pay half price of the Navigo card, which is the card that we use. So you pay only 35 euros if you're a student, or if you're employed, because your employer is required to pay half of your transport. So you pay 35 euros and you're able to go in literally everywhere in Paris and outside of Paris too. You can go to the suburbs with the metro as well. So it's just very, very practical. And here I paid more than 35 euros per month with transport. I think I should pay about 45 to 50 euros because there's only 2 BTS lines, there's only 1 MRT line, and Bangkok is approximately 10 times bigger than Paris. So obviously the distances are much greater as well. So my two transport methods are the BTS, sometimes the MRT, but most of the time it's the BTS. So the BTS for me, and my Thai friends confirmed it, is not for every Thai person. In Paris, you have everyone in the metro, from extremely poor to a level of rich, and then if you're super rich, of course you don't take the metro, you have a driver or you drive your car, but at least there is no entry denial. Like, you can be super dirt poor and you will take the metro because this is the cheapest option. But in Bangkok you have certain tiers for the social status of people, because if you're poor, the BTS is very expensive. You can easily spend 60 baht in the BTS if you do more than 5 stations. If you have to go and go back, it's 120 baht. If you're poor, this is literally the cost of 3 meals for you. So you are obviously not going to be taking the BTS, you're going to take the bus. The bus is only 8 baht or 15 baht if you take the kind of VIP bus with aircon. But the bus is very highly unreliable. Sometimes you have to wait half an hour for it to arrive. Just to say that it shows that the BTS is not that inexpensive, and especially their card system. So I do have the rabbit card. Let me here you go. This is the rabbit card. So this costs 100 baht for the card, and then you charge as much money as you can. The only value of this card is for time's sake, because instead of having to go to the ticket machines, type in my station, then pay the price of the station I want to go to before even entering the BTS. Here I just come, I swipe, and then when I arrive at my station, I swipe again, and this takes out the money from my card. And especially what's annoying to me, sorry, I'm ranting about the BTS, but it needs to be said, is that the pricing does not make any sense. So if I want to go 1 station from me, I will pay 15 baht, okay? If I want to go 4 stations from me, it's gonna be 44 baht. So you're gonna be like, how come 1 station is 15 but 4 is 44? It should be 60, right? That's not how it works. You're almost punished for not going far enough. The further you go, the less the price per station becomes. The MRT has the same flaws of the BTS as well for the pricing, by the way. And then the other part of transport that I take fairly often is Grab. So Grab is the Uber of Thailand, and I take it all the time. Grab, you're gonna see, Grab is the app. Honestly, I pay them so much, they should give me a reward or something. Like, I spend so much money in that fucking app. So what I spend with transport this month is 1,627 baht. That is 43 euros. That is huge. And once again, this month I've done the least stuff that I've done since I've been here. So usually it would be even higher than this. And for me, transport is really one of the most expensive things about Bangkok. But just wait. Just wait, babes. Another thing I did this month is road trip with the girlies. Usually my travel expenses would add about 200 to 300 euros to my monthly bill. This time it was only 1,685 baht. So it was also about 40 euros. I did a road trip, we rented a car, I booked a hotel. So yeah, that was actually pretty cheap for 2 days of car rental and everything that we did. The other really big bill that I have is takeouts. So I order almost every day from the Grab app. I order food because honestly, just buying the ingredients for me to cook food that would not even taste remotely as good as a restaurant would cost me pretty much the same thing. And so I order a lot of takeouts. Let's see how much I pay. This is gonna hurt. 4,644 baht. Oh, now I feel really bad about this. To be fair, if I were to go do my groceries, this is the amount I would pay. So yeah, it is expensive, but it's much less expensive than ordering food in France. The other category I want to talk about is grocery. So grocery, I mostly do it at 7-Eleven. So I live near a big C, but the problem is always when I go there, I spend at least 1,000 baht, and not even for things that will last me 1 week. So I always just feel like shit when I go there because it's so fucking expensive. So in grocery this month I spent 2,284 baht. So 61 euros, which is You see, everything seems expensive to me. It's fucking crazy. And then we have the other category, which is eating out. So I ate out a lot. So by eating out, I've included going to restaurants, going to a bar for drinks, going to a cafe. Like all of this is eating out. It's just me spending money in a food establishment. Let's just say that. And so I spent this month 3,230 for it. This is not a fun video to make. And when I see the numbers, like there's only one time I spent 400 baht, that was for my Halloween party at the club. On paper, it doesn't look like I'm paying that much. And then I look at the final price, I'm like, anything that is not Thai street food will be pretty expensive for Thai standards, okay? So Thai street food, let's say you can buy a meal at 50-60 baht, okay? With a drink and everything. If you go to a mall and you go eat Thai food again, it might be about 150 baht if you find like a good meal that's not too expensive, okay? But anything that is not Thai, so if you go to a Japanese, if you go to a Korean, if you go to a Western, an American, a French, it's gonna be quite expensive, like over 200 baht. The last category I wanted to see is shopping / nails. So this is the pink category, this is the beauty category, this is the self-indulgence category. First, my nails. So here, the thing that I've started doing is do my nails. Aren't they pretty? I've always wanted to have long, beautiful nails. Like this has always been my dream. But honestly, doing your nails in Paris is so expensive, and like gel is not that popular. And here I pay 500 baht for PVC extensions plus gel nail polish for a thing that will last me all month and looks so well put together. And yeah, 500 baht for something that takes an hour and a half to 2 hours, very cheap. And then we have Lazada. So usually I order a lot more from Lazada. This month I've only ordered 3 things. Actually, yeah, that checks out. I order between 1 thing and sometimes like 6-7 things per month from Lazada, but it's always like very small things that cost like 100 baht. And then I also have a cafe. This one is from Guns Cafe called Last House on the Right. I bought this little thing. This month my biggest purchase in terms of shopping that really those kind of make up for the fact that this was kind of my lowest spending month is the fact that I had to buy shoes. So I had 2 pair of white sneakers that I wore all the time. Both of them fucking ditched me. Let's already put on the shoes, and I have to choose my Buffalo sneakers with butterflies on them. These are my favorite pair ever. I adore them. So allow me to use one of my chunkier pairs because chunky sneakers are thick girls' best friend. So I bought Fila disruptors. It was 2,990 baht. How much was it? 90 euro. So pretty expensive for me to drop like this. This is not the amount that I usually drop on things. So in total, this month in terms of shopping, I spent 4,343 baht. To reassure you, usually it would be more about 1,000 baht. So it is time for the reveal, and this month I have spent 28,651 baht or 1,770 euro. So it's a lot. When I came here, I really thought I would be spending 600 euros per month, but it's not reasonable to think that way at all because first of all, I'm traveling almost every month, and yeah, as I said, Thailand is not that cheap. Rent again, even with my fucking crazy scammer electricity fee, is still so much cheaper than what I would ever pay in France. But the issue comes that a lot of the other things are actually as expensive as France. And also being on a tourist visa, I cannot work here. So granted, I spend more than a normal person would because I mostly, all I do here is just go out and have fun and discover new places and travel. So obviously I'm spending more than the average person that goes to work every day. But also I'm not earning any money. So that money is slowly draining my bank account. But it is fine. I've realized something that, first of all, I'm extremely lucky to have parents that can support me if I really run out of money. But second of all, I've realized that money is really just a means to an end. And right now, yes, I'm spending a lot of money, but I'm also the happiest I've been in 10 years. Yeah. So I would say that's a pretty good trade-off. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video and kind of it helped you de-romanticize Thailand in a little bit in terms of price. Tell me which price surprised you the most. I'll see you next time and have a great day.